I still don't, you know, and at the end of the day, I ended up finding, gonna be leaving the city, which I didn't really want to do, but that's what's best, and still looking for some good employment, but I'll find it.
Oh, yeah.
So, I do it.
Yeah.
I never understand why these stupid things do this. You get on YouTube and they, hi, by the way, we're live. It freaking wants to give advertisements and stuff too. I paid for that. Hi, Phyllis. For our own, we have our own page. So. Yeah, so tomorrow night's National Night Out, so you better come get some hot dogs and hamburgers and watermelon and play some bingo down here in the park and bring the grandkids. There'll be prizes. The girls just went and wiped out my MasterCard for the city to go buy prizes, so. Again. They're notorious for credit card wiping outage. You know better. You get close, but you're buying beer.
That's
irrigation parts of beer.
But I don't think she's drinking the beer.
Not on duty.
Not on duty. Bye, Martin. Good. Well, she wouldn't be the first to drink on duty.
But it wouldn't go well today.
No.
Oh yeah, I do it for Marie every month because she doesn't have a computer, so she doesn't have a phone.
Oh, I see. She had one that started.
Well, that was a lot of material. Well, no, on third.
We should make it.
Several factories there.
Year to year.
And, I didn't think much about it. I talked to somebody later and found out that the week was $9. Ah, that's why they were.
That's why they were. Yep.
Oh, so we-
Yeah, that's.
you know, like, you know, that-
Oh,
So. That's what it is. That's my recommendation.
Didn't remember it.
So the financials are over there,
Yep.
updated calendar, you guys are up there. Yes, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Forgot where it was at, so I looked at it, I was like, oh, you're down here, you're down here. Right. Right, how are you? I hope it works better for you. Got a slew of them. Last 6, 8 months. It worked for a while for me, and then they quit. So I hope, but some people it works perfect, so I hope that it works for you. I really do. Yeah. Now, did they do your lumbar or the neck, where they at? No lumbar. Yep. Right. Are you going back to school this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured, but didn't know if you were, when it started back, already August. How much more time do you have? Just this year, you're done? You lining up anything for full-time gainful employment? Wow, good for you. That's cool. My son has his own company, my wife has his own company, her company, so yeah, I think that's awesome.
Work your own hour.
Yeah. And if you don't have any money, you don't pay this. That's what I tell them. That's what I tell my son all the time. Hmm. Sweating bullets up here when I set all this up. That's drenched. So I cooled it down, but I only cooled it down to like 70. Are you cold?
Well, I just think this.
I can go turn it up a degree. You want me to go turn it up a degree? We'll get going, and if everybody gets cold, I'll go do it. It's 6, Chad.
Yeah. I know. Please rise and lead the pledge of allegiance.
Sorry. Live on YouTube and you're live.
Okay, welcome everyone. Start the meeting off by having public comment on agenda items. So if anybody would like to comment on anything on the agenda, now's your time to do it. It's not an agenda item. There is a time at the end of the meeting for public comment that's open. Are there any comments on any of the agenda items? Nope, okay. Well, then moving on to the regular meeting minutes. Last month. Any concerns, questions, comments on the minutes of the July meeting?
I'll second.
Okay, Richard has made a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from July. Berlin has seconded. Richard, how do you vote?
Yes.
Berlin,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Jesse,
Yes.
Maria.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. Okay, and the next is the land use hearing meeting minutes from July 8th and July 21st. Any concerns, questions, changes regarding those?
Make a minute.
Jesse made a motion to approve the land use hearing meeting minutes from July 8th and July 21st. Berlin has seconded. Maria, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jesse? Jamie? Tammy?
Yes.
Berlin?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. Okay, on to the police report. I don't see the chief here tonight.
They have National Night
Oh,
Out in
that's right.
Stanfield.
But,
Well, it's because he sets it up.
oh,
He'll be here tomorrow and set it up, but he won't be at the event.
you're not gonna get yourself a burger? All right.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so council, any questions or concerns or comments on the police report?
I do. Wear your seatbelt.
You don't have to throw yourself on.
No, I think it was pretty good. Though. You did a good job.
Even the city administrator is not above the law, just let your record note that. Sorry, Dave, you know,
You did a
Must have went into town.
there you go. Good with some pressure, I guess. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? All right, then, we'll move on to Scott, Public Works.
Didn't have a lot, I don't have a lot to add, but we just, basically right now, we're just doing routines, just routine water. Reservoir up on the hill, we've run into a couple snags with that, just with levels between the two reservoirs, so we're working through that. We don't know yet what the problem is, but, when we run one reservoir, the original one, we run it to where we want to, it overfills the other one, so. We're working some issue. Figure out. But we passed, it's back to East Sanford, so. When you put it online, it's good, but, the level between the two reservoirs, there's an issue, so we're trying to figure out. Also, the tree in front of the, Lights Apartments. I had an arborist come out today to look at the tree, because we were thinking, well, not we, I was thinking if we could cut the roots off and salvage the tree without, and then taking care of the damage to the apartments or whatever's going on, trip hazards. And, his name's Doug Bennett Botanical Gardens. He's a certified arborist. So I had him look at it today, and cutting the roots off would kill the tree, make it unsafe. And, it's a healthy tree, it's but it is, the fights is damaging their home, it's a trip hazard. But, I didn't feel, well, okay, I was just wondering, like, but anyway, if we were to try to salvage the tree, it would, with the roots, the problem, the thing. It would and it's a heritage tree, and I believe it was voted on by the council as a heritage tree. And, I think the council should make a decision what they want to do with the tree.
So-
Dave,
There's some added information. I did talk with our insurance. And not recently, but a couple months ago, when Jerry and Gino have talked to me off and on for quite a while about it, actually. And kind of talked through the process, and so, like attorneys, they aren't exact, they don't give you concrete black and white answers, they give you, well, maybes and what ifs. They did say that if there, we could be, not that we would be, but there could be some liability on the city, because it's a city voted on tree, it's blacked, it's there, the city built the street around it when they did the updates. There's a whole bunch of history as to where it's at and why it can't get water anywhere but to the south. And so they were like, tough decision, wouldn't want to be you. But that's kind of where we're at with that. It's a gray area as far as liability. And it is a very black and white liability as far as the street or the sidewalk tripping. I mean, the sidewalk's up, what? I don't know, it's way up. So we cut the concrete off of it.
And also, Gary Fife said that she would pay for a couple trees, she would pay $400 towards a couple more trees if we were to take it out, that she would donate money towards a couple trees that we could put somewhere.
I knew that was gonna be one of my questions or thoughts. So let's back up a little bit for especially Maria, because I don't think this has been a conversation we haven't had for quite a while. So the tree, remind me, the tree is on city property? City right away, okay. And the roots are going into the water line that goes.
So it's going into the Fikes apartments there.
Yeah,
And it's raised the sidewalk, it's messing up their foundation.
so it's going into the foundation.
Yeah,
Kevin sent me pictures, well, I don't know where they are, but he sent me pictures a couple years ago, crawling under the apartments, and there were roots sticking out of the cracks in the foundation from the tree. You could see there were tree roots.
Yeah.
and like the arborist, however tall the tree is, that's how far it is.
And they can't go north, because the pavement's there.
Right, they're gonna go where the water is, and that's.
Well, there's action. There's roots under there, you can see where they're going that way, but it's easy.
So that was a heritage tree that was designated, I want to say, probably in the 90s, was it? Early
I
2000s?
I just know it's got a plaque on it, and it was voted on by the council.
And when it's the heritage, it has some names, correct? Of some folks?
Right, so. It's kind of faded, and I can't read it, but
I'm just going off of memory.
I think the apartment said, all the ones that on the building, and then there's something to do with the tree, and I think it's.
So what does the tree have to do with that?
You know,
What does that specific tree have to do with that specific location or those people or whatever?
I don't know if it has anything, it was just that the council had, or Diane, and then that put a plaque on it, said this is the original tree of the city, and.
Because we could probably find another original tree. I would think. I mean, I was thinking. Yeah, Jesse. It was a water meter or something.
That was a water meter there.
Wasn't it that tree?
Yes, yes. That was when Justin and Ken were here, yeah. It did, but that was long since
And
been.
it's right next to, it's right next to the tree for the one meter.
Yeah.
Right.
And Gina,
So why don't we, well, yeah, but give me a second, Gina. You want a decision tonight?
well, it's up to the council, but, you can, you can do it.
Well, I would, if we're gonna make it, my thought is, if we're gonna make a decision on possibly undesignating that tree so that we can remediate it, then we should have a plan to have another tree or something somewhere to honor that intent from that council. And I'm thinking maybe another month would give us that opportunity to do a research into what, and we don't have to do this, I'm just throwing things out. Maybe it's too, I'm overthinking again, but we could figure out why it got designated in the first place. And then we could find another plan for another tree somewhere. And if they're willing to purchase another tree, that'd be a wonderful thing, because the trees would be great and it'd be healthy. Probably healthier than that.
No, that's
tree.
the one.
That, yeah, they're a couple $100 a piece, and so Jerry was, willing to, purchase a couple more. I don't know how Diane came up with the heritage, but it is a very old tree. And it's probably put in about the same time the apartments were, and they're
Probably planted out front.
probably, they didn't
Their
realize.
streets,
The streets were- But anyway, yeah, and I think Dave and I, we felt that the council had made it a heritage tree, and the council should make a decision whether we. take that.
because no matter what he and I do, we're gonna get tarred and feathered, so I want everybody to be on the same page,
Yeah.
so. So I don't know, Diane's very strong about it. I got the idea for the arborist from her, because I've done my due diligence to talk with her, but it's been a few months ago.
Well, I mean, you can't fix the sidewalk because of the roots, they
No.
kill the tree. Yeah, so the sidewalk has to be saved, because one of our goals.
Well, there is no sidewalk.
Well, what is it just?
Justice took it out.
Oh, they took it out?
There is no sidewalk there.
Well, then we could replace it with this sidewalk.
Yes, if the tree was gone, we could put a sidewalk back and,
And the landowner projects, it gets changed.
And I have been over to the arboretum, I think that isn't there be room to put these trees in there?
well, heritage tree would have been one that was, with heritage, you know, it would be a
We could
hundred
just-
something years old. We could get another linden tree that's like that one, but, the same variety, pretty close.
It wouldn't necessarily be a heritage tree.
Well, it would
be
be-
a commemorative tree or a memorial tree.
Sure, we could put another tree in just like, close, that's just a big leaf linden, really, I love them. And they're a good tree, and we could put them, we could put one anywhere that's got good room to grow.
She sent you the tree.
Well, skip it, fine, you two. What you like to put it somewhere else.
So, what do you guys, what is the council?
You guys, if you want to turn it on.
Gina, do you want to approach the podium? Okay. I think you get off the hook.
I just wanted to say that the tree is doing a lot of damage to the apartment itself. It's changing shifting the floors, and actually doing damage to the apartment, so, and has made it where this is smaller because we took care of it, but from the sidewalk, it made it where water was going in and ruining the floors. But not only that, it's made the foundation shift where our floors are getting uneven, so it's not minor damage that it's starting to do.
Thank you.
Well, my thoughts is we need to take care of it. That's fine. And that we need to have a formulated plan shortly to get another tree or something to that, effect, to continue the intent of that.
And it should be a plan that goes on, because trees don't last forever. So this may not be the only time this will happen.
Sure.
I'm gonna locate planting trees. By meters, like, that's not hundred my pipeline.
I know it's Danville, we have
Yeah.
a few trees that are 100 years old and they're getting kind of like trim on and stuff, but I just feel bad to cut them out, but, it happens. They run their lifespan. Just like the rest. Yeah. It's,
Any other thoughts on that? Are you guys fine with that plan to allow them to remove the tree and then find a replacement? Formulate a plan for the next meeting, have that on the agenda as an item to discuss.
because I can get trees, we can get trees next spring.
Or whenever it's the best time to plant. So
Well, we usually for our tree seeding and everything, I go and get trees,
yeah, we've known this has been a problem for a while, it just hasn't been brought back up. And it's kind of fallen to the wayside, but, yeah, I mean, I guess we could make a motion to allow the public works to tear that down with the caveat that you're gonna replant or redesignate and with a new plan. Come up with a new plan. I don't know, unless anybody else got a better idea. No one wants to wait. Having lunch. We could vote today to allow them to remove it. So that they can, so they know where they can put it on their calendar.
Yes.
And then next council meeting, we would start the discussion of a plan to redo that.
Yeah, I make this motion, we do start the new light.
Okay.
Well, it started
And to
formulated,
For the-
it's not
for
formulated.
the future. Okay. Okay, so Jeannie has made a motion to allow Public Works to remove the tree. With the council, in future meetings, at the next meeting, be on the agenda to, start formulating a plan to commemorate another tree or plant a new tree to replace this one. Maria has seconded that motion. Tammy, your vote?
Yes.
Berlin,
Yes.
Janie, Jesse, Richard, Maria.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Scott, and thank you, Gina. Anything else for Public Works? Maria?
I have one.
Yes.
I live on Tilson, so we keep, we keep getting a lot of fast traffic on Tilson. It's a 25 mile zone, and people just zoom through there like at 45.
That
And
would be
a lot of
for the-
times, we just go out and it's like, we gotta watch out real bad because they're getting pretty bad, so.
No, I've
That was
gotten
my-
the same complaints numerous times over the years. It's not something that, you're the only one you're not the only one that notices it, but that would be something for the chief of police to talk to him about it. We brought it up in the past. I think the car thing helps, and they've actually started writing a few tickets and pulling people over for that around here. So I'm hoping that with school starting, it's a good topic to bring up. Yeah, so next meeting, let's get a hold of Brian before the next meeting and let him know your concerns. Yeah, Scott?
also, like on the bottom of my report, I would say if the council has anything that you see I just wanted to bring that back up. If you see stuff that you'd like to be done with public works things, make sure you let me know, because I don't see everything. And so if there's some things that aren't being done that we can do, just let me know, or let Dave know, or me, or whatever, and, make sure to get done. So if there's some things around town that, like weeds or things that aren't being done, just,
Yeah, you don't do private property.
no, we don't do property. But if there's something that you see that isn't getting done, if I know, then I can have people get it done, so.
Sure.
Just
And
make
then
sure you let me know, because I don't see. I get tunnel vision when I'm telling Echo.
Yeah.
I'll see something, I'll have Logan fix it, but if there's something else that I don't see,
And that goes for the public too. I mean, we've had people from the public come in, and the one is the guy with the potholes. And people were going through his yard to go around the potholes, and we were able to fix that. And
and
nobody
there's something
we
that
rarely drive down that road, so we don't see it.
if there's stuff that needs to be done, just let me know, and we'll get them done. I don't see, I don't know, and a lot of times it's just easier if somebody has an issue with something, then we'll take care of it.
I appreciate that, Scott. You guys do a great job.
We try, but if there's something,
Okay, anything else on public? All right, so moving on to Tanya and the golf course report.
Right. July was a great month at the course. We hosted 2 tournaments, the Stanfield Boosters Club on Saturday the 5th and the Triple Six Open on Saturday the 26th and Sunday the 27th. The Booster Club tournament had 18 teams playing, and the Triple Six had over 50 players over 2 days, so just good times. I also started a 2-person 9-hole scramble series that spanned 6 weeks on Tuesdays. Unfortunately, with the weather, it was a disappointment. We only had 1 day where I had players signed up, but I think I might try that again in the fall when it's a little bit cooler temps and people are out and wanting to be out later in the day. So we'll see about that. Started serving food on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So just really small bites, nachos, chili, chili cheese dogs. People have seemed to like it so far. I've had pretty decent feedback, and we've had some good sales, and it's kind of hit and miss on the days depending on who shows up at the course, but I think it's a positive thing. Another positive was our sales revenue for the month. We did 34% over last year, so the income was $43,150.67. So I think that trend's going to go into August, which is great, because June was a little soft with our revenue, so really good. Events coming up this weekend, we have the Letter Blow Couples Tournament Saturday and Sunday. And then Saturday, September 6th, we have our 10th annual Campus Life fundraiser, of course. So the course is in great shape. So please come out and check it out. Thank you again to Scott and his team. Kyle, just teaching me so much about irrigation. And so I think the course personally looks beautiful. It's super green, and I'm hearing a lot of really good things from members and just daily use people alike. So I'm really proud of the course right now.
Wonderful. Those are great numbers. Yeah, 34%.
I like it.
Yes, hopefully that translates to 34% increase in profit.
That's a thing called overhead.
Yeah, I know, it takes money to make it. Labor's a killer.
That was the only question I kind of had is, I see your budget looks good, but I don't see the employers in it still, so I think, are we still kind of like down a little bit?
On what, which exact question, and I'll answer for you, and I'll get you the report that you want.
Oh, okay. Well, we had talked before and it's every 6 months, but I don't see it built into the monthly budget. So it's hard to tell, you know, are we up or are we down? Are we making a profit or are we just busting?
We're in the black. I just did revenues today. I'll pull a balance sheet. I can email it out to you guys. I did payroll at the end of June, in the first part of July, and that's reconciled back into June, and we were at, you guys had appropriated the budget, I believe, at 80,000 cash carryover, and I think we ended up at $86,000 of cash carryover in actual. Now, we haven't had the audit yet, so I'm sure she'll find something I screwed up and that'll adjust by a few dollars. But I'm pretty confident in that number, and so that was higher than we expected for cash carryover. To have a municipal 9-hole golf course carry $86,000 from one fiscal year over to the next after payroll is pulled out, it's pretty good. It's better than we've done all along. It's better than we did last year. And so.
I was just kind of curious that probably we've been in business now a year, right?
Yeah, since April to April, so you're in a few months.
Now we should. Go.
Correct. Yeah, no, I send you an update on that stuff, and I'll give you, I'll send that out. I'll make a note for myself. I had thought about that the other day, but I was kind of happy with the balance sheet, and then I just kind of forgot. So, send profit loss. I'll send a profit loss. I'll have to, Assist does a terrible job of profit and loss, so I'll put it into a spreadsheet, pull all the numbers straight out of the general ledger. So I'll do a profit loss sheet for you, and then for last year, because we're in the new fiscal year now, and the biggest unknown was the ferry award, which we didn't really plan on, but we had no choice. That actually is hurting. That's going to hurt the overall profit for this year, just because, you know, that's an extra $20,000 of overhead that we hadn't planned on. However, if we can work out all of the warranty issues that we've had with it, and it stays running all the time, will be hopefully it'll actually pay for itself with as good as the fairways look right now, as green as the course with irrigation. I mean, right now we've been behind on rough mowing a little bit just because we've been short of groundskeeper, and but the fairways are getting mowed, and you can see the real difference, and it actually stands out. It's one of the things I noticed this morning when I was out on the course, kind of checking it out.
Yeah, because you know,
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too, is playing faster.
Everybody moves fast.
So, yeah, no, and Tanya is gonna be doing another interview tomorrow, I think, for groundskeeper. We're going through the process with the situation that occurred with the last one, so. Unfortunate, but that's life. So, not yet. We're in the process of working with the pre-loss attorneys on that, so. If the council wants to know more about the legalities of that, we'll need to have an executive session, because they're protected by law, and I want to honor that, follow the law. So, yeah. Not yet, not yet. Maybe, and I'm not the extreme of this, but yeah. Little extreme. Yes, Janie. Mm-hmm. It's about right. It's about right. That's net. So that's actually what they put in the bank. It's actually closer to 20, because you also have Social Security, PERS for her and Candy both all made PERS, and so then you have Medicare, and then a few other costs. But yes, that's true. So it's closer to 20 is the actual gross, like 18 and 19, depending on the month. It also depends if Tanya's running the shop versus the staff, because if Tanya's running the shop, that's less employees actually getting paychecks. So she has been taking some shifts by necessity, not by her choice, and getting it done and doing a great job. And that actually saves us money, because she's already on salary. So that will go down. It should be, because we want to have that. We're running 12-hour shifts. Yeah. Yeah, we're running pretty hard. So, and they're doing a really good job. She's put together a really fantastic team in the clubhouse. And those young ladies have been doing an outstanding job and making good, I hear nothing but good from our regulars and then just one dayers, so.
So I'm looking through the packet and there's a document in here on employee discount policy. Is that something?
That'll come up in a little bit,
Oh, in a little bit, is it?
down the agenda a little bit.
Oh, that's it.
Same incentive program.
It didn't say golf.
No, it's, yeah, it's under golf, but
Okay.
no, it's something
Maybe
that
we'll get to that later.
we're gonna get to that, and I think I really hope you guys think about it, so, anyway.
Okay. All right, so moving on to the school transportation committee. I need to appoint folks to that committee. So Dave, I need the names of the community members, the
I gave it to you in
school.
your packet, and then,
Well, I got the applications for the 4 community members.
correct, and then I can give you, I put it in an email, but maybe you didn't see it, but
I may
it's,
not-
for the fire department, Delbert delegated Justin Morris. Raymond Smith will do the school. Scott will do public works. Brian said he would do the police. Obviously me, city administrator. Haven't heard anything from the county, so I'm assuming they want to be involved. They didn't, and that's what I thought. And then we have the community members, and then you guys have to appoint a couple of council members as well. So it's a fairly large committee, but that was what was the vote. So that's what I put out there, so.
Okay. So Justin, I assume you're cool with that? What if we don't want Justin?
Yes, argue with Delbert then.
And then, Raymond's not here tonight, Brian's not here tonight, Scott, I assume you're good with that. Okay, so that, and Dave, you just. So we've had 4 applicants from the community. I reviewed those applications. I've student overanalyzed, about this.
Everybody got a copy.
Everybody got a copy. So I've been thinking this through, and I've been contacted by 2 of those folks personally, and then getting into the council members, 2 council members. I have 1 council member who's reached out to me that would like to be on the committee, and that's Berlin. And I would like to be on the committee as well. My wife has given me permission. So, and that's important. And
They can have 2 councilors and the mayor to be on it. They can have 2 councilors and the mayor, legally they can.
yeah, and so my question was gonna be, is there anybody else on the council that you would like to be on it, Jamie? Okay. That's fine with me. The only thing I can think of is it'd be 2 people from the fire department.
Cemetery,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know, it's like, what board aren't you on? It's a short list. Okay, that's wonderful, thank you. So, so since I'm not necessarily a councilman, I'm more the mayor, I would still like to be on the committee. Okay, if you guys are cool with that. That would give us an odd.
It doesn't really matter.
It's a larger committee, but it's good to see community involvement. I would love to thank everybody that has reached out, that has volunteered. But on the applications, looking at this list of folks, and that list, I think that, I would like to nominate or appoint Phyllis Shabelsky as one and Andrew Barkle as the other community, representative. So that's my list. So I've got Andrew and Phyllis from the community. Got Berlin and Janie from the council. Got Justin from fire, Raymond Smith from the school, Brian Zumwalt from the police, and Scott Morris from public works. And Dave's at all these meetings anyway, so it's kind of, it's the come. And then myself. So, our rules don't state we have to have a vote, but I'd like to have a vote on that from the council, make sure if there's any discussion or any other thoughts or anything I'm missing. If you guys would please go ahead and speak now, or if not, then we'll proceed with the vote. I don't know if I necessarily need to make an official motion.
I would.
Okay, so then I'll make the motion to appoint previously named folks, which I don't name them all again,
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. To the school transportation, committee. Okay. So Richard, your vote? Maria, your vote?
Yes.
Berlin?
Yes.
Jesse? Janie? Tammy?
Yes.
The vote is unanimous.
So I'll put together a list and get emails out to everybody and CC the council, try to CC the council when the meetings start. So it's in the know.
Yeah, we'll get emails from everybody if we don't already have them and kind of,
I've got it.
oh, you've got it, okay. And then figure out a date, time, and, I see you sent some background information as well in the council packet.
Yes,
So on the parking and
that's gotta be a discussion, because that was an ordinance that's been on the books, it's still on the
Yes.
books. And Brian brought it to my attention and wanted me to re-implement it, because it was undone, not undone, but softened apparently when they did the school remodel and updates right there a couple years before I got here. And then I had no clue it existed. And so we've been running as is, and now this has come up thanks to me and my stop sign. I want to make sure that we go ahead and, get the school input. I brought it up to Raymond once a while back, and it met with some resistance because they're short on parking. So.
yeah, and I've had some, a couple of property owners reach out to me on parking problems that they've had, more on Thielsen than on Jerome.
Yeah.
As well, so that, and this committee, just to remind everybody, is to address the safety issues, and traffic flow, pedestrian, vehicle, and, bicycle, immediately around the school, not anywhere else in town. Just gonna be right, those roads that border the school, so. Okay, sounds great. Very good. Anything on that, committee? Okay, very good, wonderful. Thank you, everyone, appreciate it. Committees, on the committees, I don't have anything for the art committee. I'll get back on that when school gets in, see if we can get a kid to do some CNC machining. Trail committee? Anything on that?
No meetings except for, Dave, are we still working on the contract for Brian for the upper canal for?
I haven't been able to get Brian to return any phone calls lately, so I'll try it again. So I've left him a message today with regards to other matters, and I haven't had him return a call, so.
And we lost or it is place that, the contract that they used to a county road at to save us some money with an attorney, remind me, I'll throw you another.
Yeah, I've got some lease agreements, I think, in the coffers, but you're more than welcome to send that to me again, because I'm pretty sure it's someplace in a pile. That would be absolutely fine, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so seeing as there's no business, we'll move on to new business, which there is there as well. So we'll move on to,
On Northgate, the Maverick,
I can give all that stuff to you in my admin report.
oh, in your admin report.
Yes, I'll be glad to do that.
Okay, and then also on the Kyle's.
Yes. I can give you reports on all of that. Absolutely.
I didn't see it on the news.
Nope.
Okay, so now we're on to the golf staff incentive policy. Sorry.
It's not golf staff, it's all staff.
All set. So I drafted up an employee discount policy that I'm hoping that the council will discuss and vote into policy. It is for City of Echo and City of Stanfield, full-time, part-time, and seasonal employees to get a discount up at the golf course. It would be 25% off merchandise, cart rentals, and snacks, and then 10% off range balls. Just as an employee incentive, a thank you for doing a hard work and just appreciation for the city.
Great idea.
Thank you. Thank
We've
you.
already given Stanfield employees golf.
Right, yeah, that was a long time ago, yeah.
And the seasonal employees must be actively employed.
Correct.
On the payroll that we scheduled.
This is just for employees. It doesn't extend to family members or guests.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, a lot of retail establishments really want them to use the products, and so I want to do the same thing. Just golf is expensive, so.
Yeah.
Do council members kind of staff?
You got the ethics committee. We have, the employees have to be under 52, so $50 per year, so there's, that applies to all of us, but there's some new rules that we'll talk about.
No, it's a really good idea.
But I like it, I thought about that, because we talked about it.
You have to vote in a stipend.
Yes, and there's a process for that.
And then you can choose
That's on, I wouldn't bring that up, that would be you.
Just go with golf.
So, because this involves finances per our charter and everything else, you guys have to vote this officially.
I'll make a motion to approve the staff incentive policy.
I'll second it.
Okay, Berlin made a motion to approve the staff incentive policy. Tammy has seconded. Tammy, your vote?
Yes.
Jamie, your vote? Berlin, your vote?
Yes.
Richard, your vote? Maria, your vote?
Yes.
Jesse, your vote? Okay, motion carries unanimously.
Good job.
Okay, now we're on to Grant Young Memorial Planning Assistance Grants.
We get this every 2 years. This is the same. Yeah, we get these every 2 years, and I use it just like any other time for working on, especially now, we got everything going on, it will come in very handy. Pays for planning projects, pays for helps with development when we're doing partitions and doing that kind of stuff. That's what those costs are supposed to be used for. And it's every year. It used to be, when you first hired me, it was still $1,000, and somewhere after COVID, it changed to $2,000 for cities under 5,000 people. So it would require you guys, it doesn't really have any strings. You can spend it on anything that has to do with planning. And at the end of the 2 years, they have me fill out a one-page form, and I show staff time, my time, and anybody I spend it on, and then I turn it in, and that's the end of it. It's a pretty, they do that with all the small cities get it. It's a pretty common program, and I think it was originated because of all the changes, and as we've all been learning through this whole long planning update process, there's a lot of costs involved with it. And so with the state statutes and everything, they started these programs to try to help small communities just survive the year with whatever they may have to do within their own daily business. So that's kind of really what it's just down to. It's a pretty cut and dry. You guys have a copy of the contract in your packet. So it's a typical standard DLCD contract, but it's the small one because it's the grant, it's the grant one. So it's up to you guys, but you know, it will definitely be spent like always. I've never not spent it. So.
I'll make a motion to approve the Grant Young Memorial Planning Grant 2025-2027.
I'll second.
Okay, Jesse made a motion to approve the Grant Young Memorial Planning Grant for 2025 to 2027. Jeannie has seconded. Berlin, your vote?
Yes.
Richard? Tammy?
Yes.
Janie? Jesse? Maria?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. Okay, on to one of our favorite subjects.
Sorry. But, you know, we could debate it till the end of Sunday, but they're already sending me the first quarter's bill, so. I haven't paid it, I put it up on the shelf, but,
It looks like the same.
I had them it's a rinse and repeat of what we just did, but we had spent money and updated it, and I don't have any way to measure it right now. I don't have any way to measure whether they're falling or not. They don't communicate. They're not communicating. We haven't had any meetings, so that there hasn't been any violation of the contract that way. But I haven't heard of any changes or anything, so.
So when are they supposed to have meetings?
I think Brian's group is meeting once a month, right? I believe they're meeting once a month. I think he said he was gonna give it another try. That's the chiefs.
They're actually, the chiefs are meeting, but what about the 911 dispatch with the sheriff?
Well, the sheriff's been out, I think, for a while, but, but I don't know. That one I don't know. We haven't had any communication. The 911 sergeant, lieutenant, whatever his name was, came and saw me. What's that? Thank you. Came and saw me a while back. And opened up some communication, but there just hasn't been a whole lot changing going on. I don't know. We could ask the fire department, since two of them are here tonight, if they have any differences, but theirs is a different contract because they're on calls and we're on per capita, so on population, so. It's a
they're
different
supposed to
contract.
communicate, for the contract, they're supposed to communicate with us when they have certain changes and things.
And they haven't done that, but I don't know if there's been any changes. So I haven't seen anything with the commissioners, so.
Or maybe we should add a line into the contract that states that they'll update us every 90 days or something to that effect. Whether there's any changes or not.
Okay, then if you want to table it till next time, I'm good with it. I threw it on there because I didn't do it in July. And I have no problem sitting on it till next June. I really don't care. It's up to you guys, but, that's fine. Require, would you say that again, please, Mr. Mayor?
Correspondence at a minimum, some sort of.
Of any
correspondence of any changes or capital purchases or anything,
Okay.
Whatever the language,
Our language said that they had to communicate with us on any changes, and it's been that way all along, but we had Dave add, penalties for failure to do that.
So I think we should put a timeframe in there that holds them to the fire. Otherwise, they could just say, well, they wait for us to call.
Okay.
And I don't think that that's,
I wholeheartedly agree.
they should be beholden to us because we're paying that.
Correct. Okay. I will definitely have David, I'll talk to David tomorrow and see about getting a couple of lines added to that, and then I'll resubmit it to him.
Okay.
Because we haven't approved it. I mean, you have not approved it.
Yeah, and I said, I would advise us not to approve it until we get that.
Totally your call. You guys.
That's my.
It's not going anywhere, and they're not gonna turn Brian off when he comes across the bridge. They can't. So,
We didn't pay the bill for over a year anyway.
no.
So,
And they were paid. You guys approved the payment. They were paid. They were paid in full for last fiscal year, so. They were paid the last day. They were paid. Yeah, we were. Good sure. So I'm gonna,
Maybe until next month, or could we at least get?
I feel good about it. I almost didn't bring it to you. I decided to, so.
Well,
Table, I got a table.
okay, very well, then we'll move on, to administrative report.
financial report is in front of you, and Tammy's already asked a couple questions about that. Anything other than that I can answer, and I'll start talking about stuff that Tammy asked. Any questions on the report itself, the AP report or the bank statements? I sent it to you guys, plus you've got a hard copy in front of you, so. All right, no questions, then I'm gonna start off with Northgate. Northgate is still moving forward. They're just kind of in a little bit of a holding pattern until their broker's working really hard. Maverick backed out a little bit. They backed out from, they didn't buy property. They never did. They were obligated for 6 acres on the light industrial side for a fueling station. Their new CEO, just took over, and they had their project in Baker is not doing well. They still feel that this one will do very well, but they have some projects elsewhere that they're gonna finish their resources, like finish building some of the other places. They've got multiple stores being built in other areas. And so after I had multiple conversations with Kent and Laura about it, they actually went back to the table and I've talked to them, and I don't have an update if they're going to agree to a 5-year plan with them. They were gonna go back, Kent and Laura and their broker went back with some sort of proposal to them. And I have talked to Kent about other things, but that we haven't talked about that yet this week, where they are with those discussions. There are other companies. The county reached out to me. There's a Virginia company, and I know there's a lot of bad sentiments about servers and Amazons and things. There is a company that has reached out and showed some interest to do some preliminary investigating whether it was a viable project for somewhere down the road. It's not Amazon, it's a brokerage company out of Virginia, and they've talked to me and talked to Ken and Laura, and they've talked to them, but they've talked to UEC. It's a whole process for this. So first, they'd have to know they have power. Second off, they'd have to know if the council's going to do something like that. And I said, I don't have a decision. That's not that realm. You'd have to come to the council. Third, so we threw a bunch of questions at them. So, because questions like, okay, so what are you talking about for buildings? And they're like, well, they'd be taller buildings and smaller because it's a smaller area. And so Ken asked him, it's like, okay, so Echo is a historical town. What if all the stars aligned and we decided to do this project? The buildings along Thilson, would you put murals on them? Would you do landscaping? Would you do all that? And they said, oh yeah, we'd paint wagons and we do all these kinds of things, and we do tree rows and all kinds of stuff. And I said, okay. And then I said, I don't want water because we're in a critical water area. So there's servers that are air cooled. And so that was a big concern of mine and Kent's. And so they said their clients do both water and air cooled systems. And so I said, well, there'd be no way that my council would ever approve or even consider something with water, because I've talked to Scott and we wouldn't provide the water. So that would not work. And the other big question is if they could do 50 megawatts or kill bazillion watts of power, UEC, and they're talking with UEC about it. That takes a 3 to 4 year study. So that's just a discussion. So it's a discussion. It's nothing more. There's no money, no promises, no nothing. And then there is a couple other companies that I don't have much information on for the light industrial side. And then there's a motel discussion where I never heard back. So some of the negotiations ended on a 2 acre parcel for a 90 bed motel. So there is another company, Transamerica or whatever, a fueling company, they're interested. So that's another company that's interested. So there's multiple discussions going on. What's that? This is Travel America, is that what it is?
Yes.
The blue and white one, right? The TA thingy.
Yeah.
So they've showed some interest. So again, I have no further updates on discussions and negotiations. I know that I sent our current comprehensive plan and our development code to this fellow named Foster for the server company or brokerage firm, and that I haven't heard from him since. And so I kind of think that's a long ways out for a discussion down the road. I don't think that's in anything now. However, it was nice that they reached out and they were interested. They sought us out. We didn't seek them out. So I thought that was interesting. And I think there'll be more of that as we move forward with all this AI stuff, because that's what a lot of these companies are looking for, is places like the servers here now are doing the cloud, right? And then I haven't talked to Kevin for a while, but my guess is that they're gonna start transitioning some of those to AI. Am I correct about that? Because that's what I've been reading, is that they're looking at converting some of these from the cloud to the AI support. So there's a lot of that going on. That's gonna be in all of our lives, probably for the rest of our lives around this area, because this is an area that they're very interested in here in Missouri. Ohio, there's certain states that they pick on that they try to build their plants in, and you're familiar with it more than I am, but. So a lot of my neighbors work in all these plants, so. You asked about Snows, AK, Jim Hatley. So Hatley's own the property. They're working on, they have to come back before you. They're working on redoing the subdivision. Scott has been meeting with them out on site, and I'm pretty sure we're just going through discussions and everything with that, right? Because their surveyor's been in contact with both of us. They want to reduce the lot size from 10,000 to 8,000 square foot, which is still pretty doggone good size lots in today's world. The lot that I'm buying is barely 4,000 or 3,800 or something, so they're not very big. So there's lots of pretty good size. I did tell them and reminded them that they're going to need to talk with the ditch company about the water and coming up with a plan for that. But they haven't given me any timelines yet on that. As far as that, they're still going through that process to get that done. And then they're gonna have to, I sent them the application, they have to resubmit a subdivision. This will be whether we adopt the current, what you guys are working on in the land use, or we keep this, it's still gonna come before the planning commission and the council. It has to, at least the planning commission version of you guys to meet that level, because it's subdivision and they'll have to be hearing. So they'll have to go through that, the current process that we've already gone through before.
Yeah.
Because they're doing a new subdivision.
So they will change the whole infrastructure different than.
No, they're just adding more houses, they're shrinking it down and adding more services. So that's where Scott's been meeting with them about the services and.
Planned, except for small.
Yes, so there'll just be more service.
Yeah, more services.
I thought probably would be planned.
He did, but those types of houses don't sell right now, so. Yeah, family home, yeah, smaller homes, they're small, a little bit smaller lots, ranch style homes with garages. 1,800, did you say?
Yeah, they were manufactured.
Yeah, they're manufactured, they're not mobile homes, they're manufactured, and I think they're like 1,600 to 1,800 square feet. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I think he said, that's what right in that range with their other project, that's kind of the size that they do. Heath Schiller is the point man. Yeah, he's and he's also doing he's doing a lot of the work with Jim on the property, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And they were supposed to have garages on them.
they are gonna have garages.
And the park property is the city's.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother discussion. But
That's,
it'll have to stay the same because during that plat process and that big rush for the school to buy that property that they did from Kyle, they platted that. And so those plats for all those lots and the streets and the park were platted and recorded prematurely. So technically, Hatley bought the property and then it's basically vacated already, so the park is where the shop is. So I'm actually working on a lease agreement with Kyle and Coulter to rent their own shop from the city, since it's on vacated property to the city. And so I've got that done. It's in Coulter and McCallum, Scott's son, and Kyle we're working through looking at it, and they were pretty happy with it. So that'll probably come before you next month. And my intent with that rental